Elections will hold a special board meeting of the members of the board on Monday, September 18th, 2023 at 4 p.m. in the board room of the Mahoning County Board of Elections offices at 345 Oak Hill Avenue, Youngstown, Ohio, 44502. Would the director call the roll, please?
Attorney Beatrice.
Present.
Mr. Orange.
Present.
Ms. Calpesta.
Present.
Would the member Bob Arndt lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have a moment of silence for our nation, please? The chair will now recognize a motion to approve the minutes of the September 11th, 2023 adjourned regular board meeting.
So moved.
There is a motion made by Joyce Calpesta. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bob Arndt. Are there any questions? Hearing none, would the director call the roll, please?
Attorney Beatrice.
Yes.
Mr. Orange.
Yes.
Ms. Calpesta.
Yes.
Chairman's report. We are now going to open the bids for the ballot printing for the November 7th, 2023 general election. How many bids do we have?
We received two, Mr. Chairman.
Two?
One from IBS, they're still sealed, and one from Election IQ, which are still sealed.
All right.
I believe
So,
one bid's gonna be for the election day ballots, and the other bid is gonna be for the absentee ballots
Okay.
by mail.
so everyone can see these are sealed. These are sealed. They haven't been opened. We're going to open them in public in front of everyone. So the first bid I'm going to open is by IBS. It is entitled Bid Enclosed Absentee by Mail. Thanks for giving me a letter of. That's okay, I got it. I just cut my fingers. I cut my knee today because I fell. Might as well cut my fingers. Okay, there's an original and a copy. I'll pass the copy down to the other board meetings. It says printing the ballot on demand by mail for the November 7th, 2023 general election. It has what looks like well, I'm not going to read all of the things they have. I'm just going to go to the pricing.
I have $1.90 per first page, $2.40 for second page. Is that correct?
I think you're looking at.
No, that is not correct, Joyce.
Oh, couldn't go higher than.
So I have here absentee packet printing, one page, and that's what we're looking at, the absentee, right? That's correct.
Correct.
It says one page, one sheet, printed one side, 99 cents. 2 page, one sheet, printed two sides, 99 cents. 3 pages, 2 sheets, printed 2 sides, $1.15. Printing of a withdrawal notice, 5 cents. Pre-filled test decks, all sizes, 18 cents. Sample ballots, 18 cents. Am I reading that correctly?
Yes.
For a total bid of $17,250. Am I reading that correctly?
Yes, that's depending on 15,000 records.
Right, I understand that number can fluctuate. Okay, so I will now open, so we're comparing the apples and apples. We have a bid here by Election IQ, and it says on the outside of it, absentee Election IQ absentee by mail. Everyone can see that it's sealed. they didn't break it down, but it looks like,
It should be broken down.
can you help me read
Yeah,
it?
sure.
You have printed stuff here and then written stuff here, so what's your actual bid then?
No, so one page is $1.49 per packet, voter packet. 2 pages would be $1.49 per voter packet. 3 pages, about
Okay, so what's in,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
so this bid is 1 page, I guess, $1.49 per packet. I don't know.
As defined in the specs with the envelopes and.
And then 2
I completely
pages
wrote that.
is $1.49 per packet. 3 pages is $1.78 per packet. And then printed and blank L&A test decks, 18 cents each. 2 pages, 18 cents each. 3 pages, 35 cents each. And then printing of a notice of withdrawal is 2 cents. Pass this down.
Jeremy, can I ask you, is that 99 cents per packet?
Yes, it is, for everything besides the withdrawal, if necessary, which is 5 cents.
So since we're supposed to do this all in public, I will ask the director and the assistant director. It looks like one bid is substantially higher than the next. Am I looking at that correctly?
I think we're looking at that correctly.
Okay. And the law mandates that we not just go with the lowest, but the lowest and the best. So have we had problems with IVS before? Anything that we should know
No,
about?
we've worked well with both companies. Anything we've had has been minor with both, whether it be perforations or, but they've both been good companies to work with.
Okay, does the,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Sue Leskola had something about IQ that was a problem this last time, but I think it deals with the regular ballots, not the by mail ballots.
So does the board have a preference that, or would the director and director have a preference that we vote on this one and then vote on the next one, or vote them in tandem?
I'd defer some of that to Joyce too, who, you know, was a employee.
I would rather vote individually,
Individually.
yes.
Okay. So the chair will now entertain a motion to award the I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, Chris, did we have absentee with election IQ, or we've just done the election day ballots? I couldn't remember, because we've done 2 with
With
them.
election IQ, just election day so far.
Just election day, they have not done absentee ballots for us yet. So integrated has, and election IQ hasn't done that yet.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that we accept integrated as our by mail. They are the lowest and best, and we've always had good service from them.
That's
By mail.
IVS, you mean?
IVS, yes.
There's a motion made by Joyce Kilpesta to award the absentee ballots to IVS. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bob Arndt. Is there any discussion? We sort of should have waited to have the discussion to have a motion on the floor, but we've had the discussion already. Does anyone want to say anything else? Any of the board members, any input from the director or assistant director?
No, like I said, we've had good service with both of them, but at that price, 99 cents compared to $1.49, I think it's,
I think that that's a pretty easy call for us. All right, would the director call the roll, please? And a yes vote would be to award the absentee ballots to IVS.
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Mr. Arndt?
Yes.
Ms. Galpesta?
Yes.
We will now move to the opening of the paper ballot at poll, and you can see that they are both unopened. We are going to open these in public. We will go in the same order. We started with IVS before. I know that Melissa wants me to cut my fingers with a paper cut. No, it's okay. I fell down and cut my knee today. Might as well cut my fingers. Here is an original and a copy I'll pass down. I will once again leave it to the staff to go through the prospective contracts to make sure everything is in order. because it would be too long and arduous to try to do that right now. I'm just now simply going to the prices. And if I'm reading this correctly, integrated voting systems for approximately 170,000 ballots. Cost per page 17 cents, one sheet printed one side, 18 cents, one sheet printed two sides. Did I read that correctly, sir?
That's correct.
Would you like to see that, Joyce?
No, I saw the copies.
Okay. So let the record reflect that their bid comes in at 17 cents per sheet, printed one side, 18 cents per sheet, printed two sides. I will now open IQ election ballot. See, they don't make them try to cut my fingers. So if I'm reading theirs correctly, it's 18 cents cost per ballot. It doesn't list the two-page, so
Regardless of.
regardless of the number of
Single,
pages,
Yep.
it's 18 cents for the election day ballot. So can I see the other one before? So if we're comparing apples to apples, IQ is charging us 18 cents whether it's one page or two page. IBS is charging us 17 cents one page, one side. And they're charging 18 cents one sheet printed two sides. Let me ask the staff, this ballot, this coming election, are we gonna have more than one page?
Well, we're gonna have one page double-sided.
And we have some that go to the third side.
You do have something.
Chris, how many are gonna go to the third side?
We have a total of 234 ballot styles. About 100 of those are gonna be three sides.
100.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm looking at this, it looks like IBS is a penny less than IQ, and that, I'm not real good at math, but that would save us approximately how
Well,
much?
IBS is one page, one side, but 18 cents is one page, both sides, right?
Correct. So if
So
it was,
we need the price on
you
two
had,
pages, three-sided.
right, which would be the cost of one-sided, which is 17 cents, plus 18 cents for 35.
Okay. So 35 cents for those 100 ballot sides. 18 cents for the ones that are one page.
234 ballots are gonna be how much?
About 130 are gonna be one page, two sides. About 100 are gonna be, go on the third side.
So 130 would be 18 cents, 100 would be $1.35.
Just 35, not a dollar.
That's like, wow.
I read my slash. My slash looks like a 1. And then what was,
Election IQ is 18 cents no matter what.
But what about three sides? Is that one?
That's what he said, is that,
Yeah, regardless of the number of, yeah, per piece of paper, let's put it that way.
so per
Three
piece
would
of
be a
paper
third piece of paper.
would be 18
Would be
cents.
a second piece of paper, not a
for
third.
30 seconds?
Be 36 cents then.
Right, one page, one side, get two, and then the third would get a second piece.
The chair will entertain a motion now,
I'd like
and then
to-
we can discuss
I'd like
it.
to speak to the staff for a minute. I'd like to call upon Stu School and Chris to tell us what the problems were this last time with IQ.
Can I approach?
Yes. There were problems.
Last time in May, we had problems with the glue. So we addressed that and they said they were gonna fix it. And you can see here that they fixed it, but it still all just fell apart. Okay?
Okay.
And that was on a lot of them. And then we have, you can see down here, they fell apart. And then we had trouble with the perforations on a lot of them. and that was
Alright.
with IQ.
Well,
And they told us they were gonna address that last time, perforations, and they didn't.
okay.
And the ballot's falling apart like that means the person can give the wrong ballot, to the wrong
And I
person,
have-
wrong number.
Boardman 32, or, yeah, 33 and 26, this is all their stub A's. Like, nothing was glued together, like it didn't, nothing stuck at all, and they put them all in here.
Is this problem addressed in our bid specifications?
Yeah, they're required to be bound and perforated. So then it's just the performance of the vendor to make sure they are bound correctly and perforate correctly. Can I ask a question of Sue?
Go ahead.
Sue, with IVS, have we ever had problems with perforations?
We did that one time in Camfield, where we had to actually take out scissors so that they can cut them. Like, I think it was 2 or 3 of the precincts out there didn't have any perforations, like it was like missed on all their ballots.
And that's the last time we used them.
Yeah, and I think that was back in,
2 years ago.
yeah,
It's still here.
yeah, because we had to take, either that or was it in March?
You weren't here for
March of
the
21.
were you?
But I mean, we've used IBS since
Yeah,
I've
and
been
that was the first time. you said that.
And I think they fixed the perforation on the
Yeah.
last.
here. It was the first election and then the next election.
And to be fair to every vendor, perforations are tough because if they're too heavy, they fall apart. If they're not heavy enough, it's something we experienced with Craig and Youngstown, with all our vendors.
But the glue is important.
The glue is important.
The glue is
You guys use glue or staples still?
We actually can use both, but we've always stapled yours.
The
I-
staple is important.
I would prefer staple from now on. I gave them,
Election, can you
2
use
elections.
staples?
We can use staples or glue. I apologize, I was not aware that this happened this time, so I wish I could have addressed it sooner, but we can always send out samples of stapled versus glued versus, we have about 6 different perforations we can use. We can send out samples so you can choose, exactly what you want.
Yeah. See, this is unacceptable to me.
Yeah.
This is why we're conspiracy theories start. And it's nothing more than the glue didn't stick together. Okay, but pretty soon someone will make it something in Venezuela. The chair will entertain a motion now.
I entertain a motion that we use integrated for our ballots every day, for daily ballots, for election day ballots.
That's IVS, correct?
IVS.
All right, there's a motion made to use IVS for our election day ballots. Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Bob Arndt. Is there any discussion more than what we just had? I want to make a comment. I don't want people to stop bidding. Because the only way we get a good price is when we get a lot of bids in. We used to get a lot more than 2 bids in.
We did, yeah.
And now we're just down to 2. So someone's getting really good at it, but from the public standpoint, less is not better. Less is not good, more is good. And so, I can remember sitting here and opening 4 and 5 different kinds of bids, and now we're just down to 2.
We've lost our local bidders.
Yeah.
Businesses can't compete.
Well, I understand that, I just don't want I just don't want to have one bidder. And so I guess what I'm saying is, now that you know these problems are addressed, you can, address them.
If I can add one thing
Sure.
too. On ballots, what's important to us that they go through scanners and it's counted accurately, and both companies have done a great job with that.
What was the company we have problems with the markings on the side?
Midwest.
What?
Midwest.
Midwest Direct.
Yeah, they didn't bid this time.
They haven't bid the last couple of years. I think someone let them have it on the phone.
Not twice.
That was because of the absentees not being mailed in time. They
I remember there was one, I thought it was just a recent election where we really were delayed in getting the numbers out because there was something wrong with the scanning of them, with the margins on the side. What was that?
That was our absentees through IVS. There was a header that we didn't catch, they didn't catch, remember the absentee header.
Right.
And once we figured it out, we got it right. But it was a problem with having brand new scanners in 950s that are a little more sensitive than the old scanners.
Have we rectified that problem?
We did.
Because you know, the board members got beat up a little bit for the delay in reporting the votes. See, you guys don't get the beating, we do.
Man, I do the interviews with the tellers, I
Yeah.
think it's pretty good too.
All right, so, is there any more comments or concerns? Hearing none, would the director call the roll, please? And a yes vote would be to give IVS the paper ballots for election day. Director?
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Mr. Orange?
Yes.
Ms. Gilpesta?
Yes.
All right. Now we are going to go to the director's report. Does the director have a report?
I do not, but I think under new business that Melissa Wasco will.
All right. Any unfinished business?
We were just gonna say that we are looking at knowing for our pole pads. Roky's in here this week, and we're looking at having him come back in October to connect pole sync and work on getting the rest of the funding from the commissioners. That was the one that you liked, Joyce, with the different graphics, and because we can talk to the locations during the day, we can get the foot traffic all day long. So we're heading into that. It would not be for this upcoming election, obviously.
And that's done by bid too, correct?
So we didn't have to do a bid because there was state term pricing, and so the state already negotiated with the 3 vendors, so we didn't have to do our own bid.
But as to which one we pick, we can pick one of the 3.
Of the 3, it's 10X, Knowing, and ESNS, I think it was.
And so we just gotta figure out which one's the best for us.
Right, which I think it was a conversation, and we can rediscuss it at the next meeting, because we'll bring you a packet, that Knowing is the vendor we already have, and so this would be like, in essence, upgrading to those 2 things that we wanted, which, well, there were 3 things: the printer attached, the graphics, and then the fact that we can talk to, you know, the,
Now, when would we be voting on awarding a contract to one of those companies?
probably next board meeting.
So, for the benefit of the public, maybe we should invite them all 3 in and make a presentation. Not just for us, because we kind of, but just so the public knows that we're not just willy-nilly picking someone. Does the board have any preference on that, or do you think it's a waste, Joyce?
Well, Knowing is actually what we have all our software attached to. If we went with another vendor, we would have to change a lot of things where our software was concerned about ballot counting and.
No, but my idea was, do we want to invite them in to,
I wouldn't mind seeing demonstrations, I think that's a good idea.
that's what I'm saying.
But maybe we do that, not the day we're gonna vote, maybe, a couple days before or a week before. I mean,
We could certainly reach out to the vendors and see if they're willing to come and do that.
it would be nice if they had videos.
I'm sure they do, because they always have those.
Well, what I'd like to do is make that available to the public.
Right,
So the public sees what was presented to us and our decision, and then they'll have more confidence in what we chose. If we just say, well, this is the company because we say so, if they see presentations and then they see our vote, I think they'll have more confidence in our vote, and that's what I'm suggesting we do. Anyone have a problem with that? So, I don't think we need a motion on it, I would just direct the director or assistant director to allow each one of those companies to come in, invite the press and the public to see the presentations, probably either the day or a week before we're gonna vote on that, and we'll go from there. Okay? Anything else under unfinished business? Under new business, it's approved personal time cash out for who? Who's this person? Melissa Wasko?
Waysco.
Wasko?
Washco.
Washko.
They're from Camel, yeah.
And we have those figures here?
It's 48 hours, it's her personal time she built up last year that hasn't taken yet because of the 3 elections.
You mean we only had 3 elections in 1 year? That's it. You mean she couldn't take all the time she had off because we had to run 3 elections? I'll take the chair will recognize a motion to approve the personal time cash out for Melissa Washko.
so moved.
There's a motion made by Joyce Kilpesta. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Arndt. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, would the director call the roll?
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Mr. Arndt? Yes. Ms. Gilpesta?
Yes.
What is this election day meal resolution? What is this?
So, what that is, and if you look on your last page of the little packet, you'll see an email that I sent to the prosecutors and the purchasing department of the county. And what it said was basically that each election, we pay for an election day meal for our staff, which is about 100 people on election day, so that we can have continuity of service, so that they don't have to leave the premises, they can stay here and have a meal, and so that we don't have delivery coming in when we have all this security for 100 people. We don't have places for them to pack a lunch and bring it. So historically, we have paid for it out of our own pockets. And according to the law and to the purchasing department and the prosecutors, that if it's for the good of the public and continuity of services, that we could ask to be reimbursed from the county. So we're asking you to make a motion so that we can do that.
Before we do that, do we have to accept bids for people to give us an election day meal and then pick the lowest and best?
No, because it's under a certain amount. So
What-
it's under the amount.
What's the amount?
Well,
Is it 2,000 or 2,500?
I believe it's 2,500, but for equipment it's 5,000.
Yeah.
So under 2,500, we can just pick whomever we want.
Mhm.
Does the board think that's a good idea, or should we allow people to bid at it? That doesn't mean we're gonna pick anyone, it's different, it's just opening it up to other
Look
vendors.
at the prices
Yeah.
and see what's out there.
Yeah,
I do know for like 25 years it became out of Joyce's pockets. And now it's been mostly Melissa.
And me.
And you.
yeah,
And in the past, sometimes.
And
we'll leave it
And in
where
that
it is.
November election, when Brian came, all the board pitched in on that one, it was a really nice meal.
Sorry. And the board.
I like trying to get credit for
So
anything.
what we try to do is do local, you know, we've been using local, homegrown vendors.
I agree with that, all I'm saying is do,
I will say this, if we did bids, and I'm not being, it's a lot of work to do bids, come back, vote on it, and
I
I'm
think
I'm not saying we necessarily have to vote on it. I'm just saying, do we wanna invite some people to give us some proposals, or do we just wanna stick with what we have, that's all I'm saying.
I think we should leave it to the director and deputy director, because
Okay.
that's something they've always, worried about, and something that we won't have to worry about.
We'll leave it to Joyce and Melissa. That's just being honest.
Is your name Pontius Pilate?
Yeah.
But we've always looked for the cheapest prices anyway, I have.
All right, well, we'll leave it up to Melissa and whomever else and Joyce to pick that.
And we did put a cap in here so that, whenever Joyce and I are in here, nobody can just run amok and order some kind of, there's a cap. So we'd have to come back to you if we went over that amount,
And what's the cap?
2,000. If we have not gone
We've never
near
done
2,000.
that.
That one November election is like 1,500, and that's the one we all pitched in on the bigger ones.
Okay, so you need a motion, is what you're saying. So is there a motion for continuity of election services for us to provide a dinner meal here so people aren't bringing in their own lunch, so we can get the vote out faster? Okay, so here is the resolution, but I can't nominate it because I'm running the meeting, but I'll read it and then someone can
I'll make the motion.
make the motion. It says the following board members of Mahoning County Board of Elections hereby approve a publicly funded election day meal. The board affirms that the provisions in the meals and beverages on election day, and so the public knows, that's soft drinks, that's not any liquor or anything like that. On election day serves a public purpose, and there's sufficient monies in the funds appropriated by the Board of Mahoning County Commissioners to meet the obligation. The maximum allowed without prior approval from the board on each election day is $2,000. This resolution is effective January 1st, 2023. Is there a motion?
I made the motion, sir.
There's a motion made by member Joyce Gilpesta. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bob Arndt. Is there any discussion? I have one point. Why did you backdate this to January 1st, 2023?
because we started working on this with the prosecutors early in the year, and so when we went to go do it, they said we could backdate it that way that we could be reimbursed for those prior.
Would we have receipts and everything? So, okay.
Mhm.
All right, so we'll put that in and then we can reimburse anyone who's,
Right, like I have a little envelope for people who purchase things and then they can get it.
all right. Any more discussion? Hearing none, would the director call the roll, please?
Attorney Petrus?
Yes.
Mr. Orange?
Yes.
Ms. Gilpester?
Okay, that leads us to good of the order, public comments. Before when the public wants to comment, I just want to say something for the good of the order. Kudos to our staff. We have really stretched you guys. I couldn't be more proud of how this Board of Election runs with divergent political views that are seated at this table. And I'd venture to say, there's someone here from the Board of Elections, from the Secretary of State, this is probably one of the most effective boards in the state because we don't fight, we don't have petty differences. We try to basically work everything out, and we're doing that for the good of the public. And we can only look this good because the people that do the digging and the hard work of running elections do such an outstanding job, and that's our staff. Kudos to them, 100% on the recount. Kudos to that. So on behalf of the public, I can't thank Tom and Melissa and our staff enough for how difficult this year has been, how basically flawless it has been. 2024 is going to be a challenge, but we'll somehow get through it. But I just wanted to say that publicly. You guys are, in my opinion, rock stars. You are, on the front line of our democracy. And if it wasn't for people and dedicated staff, we couldn't do what we do. So thank you both very much, and thank you so much to our staff and to the best secretary. I hope Raymond hears this. To the best secretary we ever had, Ann Galucci. She's just doing. Dominic. I'm sorry, and Dominic.
Right.
We really appreciate that, and really, on behalf of the staff, I hope they see this later because they really are second to none.
Yeah.
I was here the other night and I stayed because I'll stay, I come a little later than they leave, and it was quiet in my office, and one of our people come walking in the door, she goes, I got something that's on my mind, and can I please just stay another hour because I don't want to wait until Monday morning. And I was like, of course. Went to work, came back an hour later, and then I said, well, did you at least clock in? Oh, no. Oh, that's ridiculous, I didn't clock in, geez. They're so dedicated to their area of expertise, and they're so good to each other, and we are lucky.
I want to say this. I believe our staff, it's just more than that. They have a passion for what they do. And when you have a passion for what you do, it really makes a difference, and it shows. It shows when you have a passion. I think they realize how important their job is in this community. I really do. And
I think we can attribute that to that previous director they had.
Well,
They were homegrown.
I don't know about that previous director. The one thing is, I don't get hung up on election day anymore. At least that doesn't happen. Is there anything?
I just realized what he said.
Is there anything from the public? Anyone, you want to stand up and, you don't have to say your name. We'd like you to say your name and where you're from. And
My name's Randy Fast. I'm
so
from-
Randy, it's just so you know, we have a 3-minute time limit.
Okay.
And it's not generally a back and forth. This is your opportunity to make whatever public comments you want. Go right ahead.
Okay, well, I just wanted to voice my opinion. I know you guys have a tough and demanding job. You guys do a good job. But on the candidates that you disallowed the 22, and then you ended up going back and citing a case from Justice Pat DeWine, Ferrera versus Trumbull County, and allowing 4 of them. In his ruling, he said that only a number indication has to be in that box. And that whole court case, there's 19 pages of it, it's about over and under on the number. But no number is supposed to be a fatal fail every time. I talked to somebody came to my house from Miami County Board of Education. She had 20 years there, and I explained what happened. She said, no, they can fight a wrong number, but no number is a fatal fail. When they sign that paper, they're attesting to those signatures. That's why they sign. If there's a wrong number, they can adjust it accordingly. If there is no number, they are only attesting to no number. Therefore, no number has to be a fatal fail. As far as the state of Ohio, I think it's 3501-11K1 and 2 states that no number is a fatal fail. I would really appreciate too if you guys use that case. I think if people would go and read the whole 19 pages, the whole argument was the over and under. No one contested no number. And I think there was just a mistake made there. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. At least as I'm the chairman, I don't want to get into back and forth because I think that can divulge into just chaos. But I would say this to the general public. It won't be the first time nor the last time someone has challenged our decisions in a court. If you feel that we have violated or did something that is incorrect, anyone has the right in this country to challenge our decision and to have a court look at what we did or failed to do. And that would be how you would get redress for anything that we may have done. Is there anything else for public comments? Okay, the next regularly scheduled board meeting of the Mahoney County Board of Elections is set for Thursday, October 5th, 2023 at 9 a.m. in the boardroom of the Mahoney County Board of Election Office, 345 Oak Hill Avenue, Youngstown, Ohio, 44502. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
There's a motion made by member Joyce Kilpesta to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There is seconded by Bob Arndt. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, would the director call the roll?
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Mr. Orange?
Yes.
Ms. Del Pesto?
Yes.
This meeting is adjourned.